Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Sri Lankan Sammi, retired in Southeast Asia. Welcome, welcome. I'm trying something a little bit different today. I'm at the desk using Zoom. I hope it looks good. I hope it sounds good because I need to share my screen today, right? We're going to be doing a little bit of screen sharing. We're going to be talking about how to use ChatGTP, how to use the new technologies that are coming out to our benefit. Okay? We're the ones who sweated and toiled for decades to try to figure out how to retire. Why don't we let technology help us? All right, join us right after this. Hey, I'm Sri Lankan Sammi. Let's talk about life after 50. Real talk, no BS. How I went from Canada via South Korea to now chasing my forever home in Southeast Asia. Join me for this next chapter. Hey guys, welcome back. So today I'm going to talk specifically about how I use ChatGTP. This is not a sponsored account. This is not anything. I just love ChatGTP. I paid for a license, so I have a licensed plan, and I'm going to talk about why I chose that. I'm going to talk about what I do. Sorry for the camera jumping around. I don't know why it does that. I got to figure out why it does that and maybe like stop it. But you're not here to watch me, you're here to learn. What do I use ChatGTP for? How is it different than Google? And we're going to be doing some screen sharing today. And let's see, over the shoulder, no sound, and optimize for video sharing. No. Okay, here we go. How does that look? Hopefully that looks good. Okay. Yeah, that looks good. So here's our Google screen, okay? And we also have ChatGTP. So I have a ChatGTP license. So in Google, we'll just go, all right. So now, obviously, Google now uses a Gemini. They have Gemini, right? What Google does is it like, without using the AI overview, what Google does is it searches for the keywords that you did. And again, using AI, it finds videos and websites that match your question, how to. Okay. So people have asked this question before and it indexes that question to the answer. Now, the answer is not always correct. The answer is not always clear. The answer's there, but you have to search for it. So let's say you like to have a video explanation where there's 4 videos here, there's more. There's websites you can go, right to the Zoom one. But sometimes that doesn't help you because I prefer to have step-by-step, like WikiHow. WikiHow is a great website because it uses pictures and words to describe what to do. Okay. And so let's just go here. And you can see it has pictures and instructions, which is so helpful, right? Like step by step. Look at that. Screenshots and everything, step by step. I love this website. It is one of the best I've ever had, ever used. But this is what Google does. Okay, it doesn't give you the answer, it gives you access to what it believes are the best answers. Now, it does have, the same kind of AI type answer. Okay, so if I were to go to Zoom, and ask it the same question. Now, again, I use deep thinking and I use extended thinking. So it takes its time. One of the things about Google is it's instant, okay? This answer took 34 seconds. This answer took 1 minute, 6 seconds, right? But I mean, it was much, I think it's the same detail, but one of the things I love about it is it remembers everything you talk about. So let's go, we'll talk about that later. So when we go to Google, what we do is, you know, they have the AI mode right there. So you can use that, but it's not always clear. And one of the things I found with Google is that it can be manipulated by sponsored ads. Okay, so you can see right there, sponsored, 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 sponsored. Then it just gives you an aggregate website, and then it gives you, you know, the website linking. It does do its best here, but it doesn't tell you, right, the exact price or anything like that. It tells you where to find it. Let's put the same thing into ChatGPT. Now, this is the problem. People will just ask this question, okay? And you will get the same kind of answer, okay? You will get this right there. I guarantee you. I've never done this before, but this is what I guarantee you will get. It'll take a minute or two, okay? But here's the thing, that the difference between ChatGPT and Google. You can prompt ChatGPT, and we've heard a lot about these prompts. Now, I have prompts already in the system. Because I have a paid service, I can tell ChatGPT how to answer me, right? Because one of the downfalls of AI, which will change over the course of the next year, it's going this fast, all right? And you can see it's doing its thinking. It's telling you what it's thinking. Now you can actually enable it to show you what it's thinking. Like it can show you. I don't know where that is, but there's a filter where it's doing all of its, and you can see its AI working, which is kind of cool, but I'm not interested. So you can prompt it. So you can say to it, like, think like a travel agent. Remember what I like. So that's one of the beautiful things about ChatGPT. It remembers that I like early morning flights. It remembers that I like modern airlines and business class. It understands that I prefer direct flights, but I will take a layover that is 2 or 3 hours. It knows that I want to land after lunch, okay? It knows my preferred airlines. It knows a lot about those things, and it will do that. If I ask it to, I say, right now I didn't ask it anything specific, I just asked it very general. That's why it's taking so long. If you want instant answers, don't use ChatGPT. Especially don't use the thinking one. You can use ChatGPT for instant answer. There we go, 2 minutes. The cleanest one-stop options are via Singapore. Reliable and a smooth transit. So it knows that I don't like flying cheap airlines, but it gives me all of these. Okay, now it is exactly like this answer. You see? Right there, it's exactly the same. There's no difference between this part and this part, okay? But here we go, my pick for you, okay? Now, it hasn't given me the pricing, okay? It's giving some tips, and it gives links, okay? Now, here's where ChatGPT changes. So I gave it parameters. Think like a travel agent, use all your research, and remember my travel preferences and find me what you believe I would like. Quote me a price and suggest at least 2 alternative options for flights the first week of October. So I gave it some specifics. I gave it my end game, right? This is what I want to do. Help me get there. So I've always told you guys, work from a goal, okay? Work backwards from a goal. So that's how I'm using it. So if I put that in there, now if I do the same thing in Google, let's see what happens. I don't know if it'll do it. There you go, not available. Okay, not available because it's too specific. I'm asking it a too specific question. Now, if I have a paid Gemini account, probably it'll do that, but I've never used one. So let's see, it's searching for flight prices and schedules. So here's its thinking. Yeah, so if you click on it, it's thinking. So that's what it's thinking. This is what it's doing, right? So you can watch it thinking. That is so cool. So you can, this is kind of like, it's proof, like showing you that it's actually doing the work, right? I don't personally care for it. It's not a big deal for me, but it's the output that it gives, right? So this is how I use ChatGPT. Now I use the paid service because it remembers things, okay? That is key here. All right, it remembers what I tell it to remember. Now it has a finite memory, can't remember everything. But as you can see here, like I have things in here that, you know, that I want it to remember. And then if I go back and start a new chat, it will tell me what I want to know based on the information I provided in the past. So like, for example, you know, I think I remember telling you guys about the parts for the car. So I would say, remember the parts for the car. I found a new sourcing. Can you create an email for me to send to them using the parts number? So I don't have to look up the parts numbers and everything like that. And it'll do that. It says, sure, I remember it was this part. Please make sure to do this, this, and this. And it'll give me suggestions because it already remembers what I asked it in the past, what I'm trying to accomplish, right? It remembers what I'm trying to accomplish and it helps guide me in that direction by giving advice. So you can see how much research it's doing. Like this is all the research it's doing. See, it's having some trouble. And it says Sam likes comfort but values efficiency. So it's talking to itself, you know, justifying what it's doing. It's amazing to watch it work. Now it's taking a long time, but as you can see, I punched it into Google, nothing came up. You know, it just like, it gave like random stuff here. Like Eskimo eSIM, how to plan a trip without a travel agent. That's not what I want, because it just think like a travel agent, right? Now, again, I'm not using the paid service. I'm not using that, but I'm just showing you what the difference is, okay? And how, this is key, how to use ChatGPT properly. There are hundreds of YouTubers and TikTokers that are showing, don't use ChatGPT, use this service, use that service, blah, 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 blah. I've tried some of them. Honestly, they're all trying to copy ChatGPT, but only ChatGPT has the resources and the power and the computer learning and the algorithm to be able to do this so far, that what I've seen. All of these other ones cannot remember. And for free, there is no free service out there where it can remember what it is that you are asking for free. Paid services, I'm not going to try a paid service because I'm already paying for one service that I'm happy with. And it's not a lot, it's 20 US a month. Yeah, it's $240 a year, but let me tell you something, I'm getting value for it. I'm getting huge value for it, because the amount of work that I do less, the amount of work that it takes away from me is worth my time. It's doing its math now. Hey guys, Sri Lankan Sammi here. Thank you for watching the video. If you like what you're seeing, please think about subscribing and liking. Also, to help the channel get out in front of other people just like you, if you could comment, that will help the algorithm get it out there. And hit that bell icon so that you know when the next video is dropping. I truly appreciate that. If you want to sponsor me, scan the QR code right here, or click the link down below, buy me a coconut. Or if you are interested in life coaching, I offer that right here. Scan this QR code or click the link down below. I'm Sri Lankan Sammi, retire in Southeast Asia. We'll see you all on the other side. I love it. Like, for example, you can see here, report writing. It's writing reports for me. Okay. So I'll give it what I want, and then it'll create the answer for me. Student evaluations. Student evaluations are just pain in the butt. So I asked it, I said, Junhyuk's monthly evaluation, and then it writes a report for the parents. So, it's just so much easier. Like, here's the Toyota parts. It gives me the email addresses for places to contact, right? Phone numbers, email addresses of who I can contact for parts. And then can you craft an email? Here's this email with the numbers that I require. It's so amazing. I told it what I wanted to do with my secondary laptop. Okay. So this is how I talk to, okay, my old secondhand gaming PC. I also have a spare laptop. Okay. So remember, I told it, I said it's multi-state. I'm telling it information that I want it to remember. Okay. I want to use this spare laptop as a backup machine for Zoom and basic web surfing. I will use my Legion for gaming and YouTube video processing. I'm telling it more information. Okay. I can't upgrade the RAM or CPU or GPU on either. Which one would be better for video processing? Okay. Then I give it some more information. Compare the two options, a new machine, laptop or desktop versus replacing the motherboard, GPU, and RAM. And then it goes through everything. And it took its time. It took a minute. It took 13 seconds there because this question was simple. Forget about buying a laptop. What do you think I should do? What's your opinion? Okay, and it gives me the reasons why. And I said, well, what about this one? solid pick. And again, why it fits my plan. Okay. What RAM amount? Okay. Try to put that into Google. It'll give you websites that you can go that might help you, but this is its opinion. Okay. It does the research for you. I mean, look at how many questions I had. So let's go back. There we go. Here's the answer. So it thought for 6 minutes. Okay. Here's a straight shooting plan for the first week of October from Colombo to Cebu that matches your taste for comfort without burning cash. I'll give you my top pick. Okay. Sri Lankan Airlines. Okay. Direct flight. And I land in the early evening. Okay. Overnight in Chiang Mai, you know, but then I'd fly Scoot. Okay. It says Sri Lankan Airlines is the best one. It gives me the price, approximation price. And I've told it, I don't want no BS. I just want straightforward, okay? It gives me the links and the price and everything like that. And it gives me the option of the regular one, plus even though I don't like cheap ones and low-cost carriers, it gives me the low-cost carrier option, right? So this is what's going on. So let me show you how I use it for investment. So this is the current Sri Lankan stock market today. It's doing very, very well. So screenshot. I love putting screenshots because it's so much easier. So I'm telling it what I want. Think like an investor and a broker or researcher. I want to understand the short next quarter situation in the Colombo Stock Exchange. What is your research showing overall? And what is the market talking about? Why has there been so many fluctuations in the CSE this past week? And what are people saying will happen? Okay, so do not look at my securities, but for this, but focus on the overall market and what the news is saying. So now it's going to start thinking. It's going to take about 5 minutes. Okay. So what I want to say to you guys is the prompts are the most important thing. You need to tell it how to act. You need to tell it what you want to accomplish, like why. Okay. If it understands how to think and it understands where you want to be, okay, what you want to accomplish, like why you want to accomplish it, it can help you. Now, it does hallucinate, Because sometimes what it does is it tries to get to the answer by making stuff up. So you need to cross-reference this information. Now I have put in to its memory bank, telling it don't fake information. Make sure the information you provide is real, like with actual facts from the internet, from reliable sources, not just people talking, but actual like news, reported, vetted, justified news. Don't hallucinate, don't guess. If you don't know the answer, just say, I don't have enough information, I don't know. That's why it says no BS. Okay, because what it's telling me is that it has found the information to be justified and real. Okay, so you need to be able to tell it that, because what it does is it wants to make you happy. It's like a child, it's like a toddler. So it wants to make you happy. So what it does is it just gives you the answer that it thinks you want to hear. So it does hallucinate a lot. But I have, over the last year, I guess, that I've been using it. I can't remember how long I've been using it. But since I started using it, it has developed a personality. I actually named it, and it calls me by name. You can see before it says, hey, Sam, here is the answer. It understands my personality. It understands what I'm looking for. So for 2 minutes of talk. So it's reaching highs, treasury bill yields, okay? Inflation is up, foreign flow is mixed. Okay, policy path. Okay, why the whipsaws this past week? Profit taking. We all knew it was profit taking. Okay. What to watch by next week. Short term, I trade the CAs as range with sharp rotations rather than chase everything at highs. Slightly positive. Okay, and then it gives you a suggestion as to what it can do to help. That's another thing that I like. All right, it tells you what you should be doing in the near term to help you achieve your goal. And then, here's all the sources. So these are the things, again, this is not financial advice. I'm just showing you what you can do, right, to help you in your research. Because if you're personally invested and you call your broker and he says, oh, blah, 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 you can use this as kind of like supplementary information. I'm not saying follow this like it's a Bible or anything like that. I'm saying follow this to help guide you in the right direction, to start asking the right questions, to start doing more research. Okay, much better than what Google would do, right? So the key point here being, number one, always vet your sources. Always get as much information as you can and get help. What ChatGPT does is it guides you in the right direction to ask the questions that you may not have asked before. Okay, so that is the most important thing, I think. What I'm going to wrap up by saying is that this is something that you can use to benefit you in your everyday life, from automating processes, from helping you find information, from giving advice and how-tos. Now, what do you want to use ChatGPT for? And here's the beautiful thing, you can actually ask it that. What can you do to help me? I want to retire by the age of 50. What can you do to help me get there? this is what I have today. This is what I'm doing. This is how much I make. This is how much I spend, etc., etc. The more information you give it, the more it has to provide you guidance and advice. Okay? And then you can drill down on each one of those things. That's what I suggest. Okay? Not listening to me because I'm an idiot. But this is how I'm guiding my retirement. Again, I'm telling you, don't follow it word for word. It's a guidance, it's a suggestion, it's advice, which is exactly why we're here. We're here to form a community of people who can share advice and help each other get to the final goal. That goal being happiness, joy, retirement, whatever it is for you. So I hope this has helped you understand what you can do. Now, what I'm going to suggest is try the free service. Now, it's not going to remember everything. So when you go into it, you have to input. It takes time to build that foundation, okay? If you want to try it for 1 month, try it for 1 month. I'm not getting sponsorship for this, okay? But I would suggest using the memory module, remembering what it is that you have, and use it, dedicatedly use it every day to populate questions, automate services like I said, on my Excel spreadsheet, I want a gold price populating into my Excel spreadsheet. There's a huge formula for that and a huge process. I tried using Google for it. It's impossible. So I got ChatGPT to do it and it did it. And after about 4 or 5 tries, because it took a little while for it to get it right, it works perfectly. It scrapes the internet for the price of gold, multiplies it by my holdings, and then populates it into the screen, and then tells me what percentage it's gone up and what my overall asset is, and then puts that into a final cell showing me my overall assets. And it's constantly updating, like every hour or whatever. And it does the same thing with my stocks. It scrapes the internet for my stocks and shows me what my total assets are for the day. Now, I haven't connected it to my bank because that takes a lot more work and security, which I don't want. Because that's another thing. Everything you type into ChatGPT goes up into the cloud and it's not private. It's sitting on someone's server somewhere. Now, we have to trust something somewhere. It's secure for now. That's why I don't put like passwords and stuff in there. I mean, it can know how much money I have. I don't care, right? But passwords and stuff, that I secure. I don't put that into ChatGPT. My medical history, I don't care who knows my medical history. I've put my blood test results into ChatGPT and asked it, what does it think? And it gives me suggestions, which I took to the doctor and said, yes, this is correct. This is what you should do, blah, 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 blah. So you go in informed, right? You go in and you tell the doctor, this is what I've done. I'm thinking that this is what the situation is. And the doctor will say, yes, I agree. This is what the situation is. This is what we should do, right? And then you put that back into ChatGPT just to get confirmation, because I know we have to trust, right? But if you can get a second opinion, a third opinion, a fourth opinion, why not, right? Anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap it up for today. Thank you again for joining. I'm Sri Lankan Sammi, retired in Southeast Asia. Remember, learn to live life. Don't let life live you. Be good to each other. Be kind to each other. Be supportive of each other, okay? That's very important to me. Let's form a community of like-minded people who will help each other. Whether we agree or not, let's help each other. And remember, we're not strangers. We're just friends who haven't met yet. We'll see you all on the other side.